The United States is becoming increasingly isolated over its recent decision on the status of Jerusalem al-Quds. The international community has voiced its strong opposition to U.S. President Donald Trump's recognition of the city as Israel's capital. America's isolation was highlighted at the UN Security Council on Monday. 14 members of the Council, including America's staunchest allies, backed an Egyptian-drafted resolution rejecting the establishment of diplomatic missions in Jerusalem. The United States, as expected, vetoed the resolution. Washington stood alone and defiant.
We do it with no joy, but we do it with no reluctance. The fact that this veto is being done in defense of American sovereignty and in defense of America's role in the Middle East peace process is not a source of embarrassment for us. It should be an embarrassment to the remainder of the Security Council.
The veto was the latest example of decades of American diplomatic cover for the Israeli regime. Palestinians condemned the U.S. no vote, describing it as further proof the White House has failed to remain impartial.
And as a result, we are moving within 48 hours, as it requires, to call for an emergency meeting of the General Assembly.
Other council members warned that Trump's stance threatens to subvert the effort to find a solution to the Palestinian-Israeli issue.
As we have previously said, we disagree with the US decisions unilaterally to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel before a final status agreement and to move the US embassy to Jerusalem. As recent events in the region have shown, these decisions are unhelpful to the prospects for peace in the region.
What happened at the UN Security Council on Monday once again showed the depth of American support for the Israeli regime. America has backed and participated in decades of talks between the Palestinians and the Israelis. But now Palestinians insist Washington has lost its credibility as a mediator. Critics of the United States foreign policy say the Israeli regime has been emboldened by decades of American support and diplomatic cover. They believe Washington's support is to a large extent to blame for ongoing Israeli violations, including its settlement expansion on occupied Palestinian territories. The United States' recognition of al-Quds as Israel's capital has angered Arab nations. But not all Arab governments are genuinely opposed to the move. Reports suggest that certain Arab governments like the Saudi regime have reportedly been in league with Trump's administration on Jerusalem al-Quds. The Saudi regime is even said to have pushed Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas to accept Trump's initiative or step down. Saudi stances have seriously dented Palestinian trust in Riyadh. During a recent demonstration in the Gaza Strip, protesters burned pictures of the Saudi king and his 32-year crown prince. Saudi leaders are accused of betraying the Palestinian cause while trying to appease the US and warm up to Israel.
For Palestinians nowadays, Saudis represent one more enemy together with Israel and do not represent any longer one of those backing regional powers that Palestinians could count on, but one more force that will represent actually the Israeli and the American interest in the region.
This is particularly ironic because Saudi Arabia dreams of leading the Muslim world. Critics believe the Palestinian issue has turned into a tough historic test, especially for regional Arab governments.